Good morning, viewers. Today, I would like to briefly explain the importance of chain of custody. The chain of custody is very, very important in the study of forensic sciences. You see, forensic sciences comprises of various uh, subjects and for our fraud examination and forensic accounting, forensic investigation, which are also sciences, are only uh, one part of the forensic sciences. There are various branches of forensic sciences, and so the first and foremost thing before we go further with the chain of custody explanation, one should understand what you understand by forensic. Forensic means whenever any evidence that is admissible in a court of law, okay, that is called forensic. Means admissible as evidence in a court of law. You know, they saying that justice is blind. Why they say it? The courts will simply take into account the facts of the case and the evidence that is submitted, okay, adequate supporting evidence. So, to establish this evidence, what is most important is chain of custody. As the name implies, it is a chain of the custody of what? Of documents and all evidences, okay, that passes on from one person to another person to another person, because there are various stages involved in an investigation, and as such, and at various stages there may be different persons attending to the investigation. So each one should record what he has done, how he has done, what is collected, and all these they should not only document but also should to keep all the necessary evidence of what work is done, and it should be put in an envelope and sealed, and the most important is put a sticker on it saying who has done the work, what is his name, what is his designation, what is the date, what is the time, and what are the contents, and second person to whom it is passed, what is his designation, and these things. So that ultimately, when after all these stages are gone through, the persons who ultimately finally decide on the issue and go further in investigation and all that will know what is collected, who has done what, and in a systematic manner that can be presented along with all other relevant evidences, documents, and these things in a court of law. For example, this is very much relevant even in our fraud examination, highly relevant, because the thing is, you, for example, investigating a fraud case, and where there are some correspondence of, let us say, postage and things like that, then there is a chance that the fraudster or somebody involved in this one might have left some impressions of the fingerprints and all that one. So fingerprinting itself is one of the forensic sciences, and there are experts in that. And so you may want to send that postal note to that specialist, okay, for his examination and his report on that, which can be compared with other relevant information of the same fingerprints found elsewhere, and etc. etc. Like that, it's a highly important for all this one to record all this one. To sending to that lab or some laboratory, and then again the return of that one, everything should be recorded in a sequential form. Same thing, for example, in a criminal case like a homicide, there's the crime might have taken place at a certain place. Then the first responder, the first person who has attended there, should, without touching anything, without disturbing anything, without compromising on anything, should record of what he has seen and what he has found, everything, and then before they are packed and put it in and taken to the next stage of investigation, should be recorded, should be parceled, should be, as I explained earlier just now, he should give his details and to whom it is given and all these things, so that it will form a proper evidence that can be supported in the court. So the thing is, there should not be this will also prevent any compromise, any change of evidence, or any, disturbing the evidence, and all these are avoided by this chain of custody. You see, mainly it involves like record keeping. Okay, proper record keeping, usage of strong and reliable tools and techniques. Okay, in the process of this doing this one, then keeping the property all secured and available evidence. Okay, as already discussed. So the thing is, all this recording, safekeeping, and then is just like a tracking. Tracking, nowadays whatever we do, say the particular goods or services or whatever, they can be tracked online. Similarly, the chain of custody is a tracking from the beginning till the end of the thing, before the conclusion of the thing. So this tracking should be properly documented, full details given, and all these things. So it is a documenting and controlling the evidence. Okay. So similarly, suppose if you are taken some photographs or something, they should be properly preserved. Or even while you are inspecting the hard disks and computers and these things in the fraud investigation, you can as well keep photos of what you are doing when you are taking out the thing, when you are copying the things into another software to extract the data and all these things. All these can be not only documented, but with proper photographs, or if needed, even a video of what we are doing, because there should not be any question of that you tampered with the evidence. That's what happens mostly in these court cases. Other party will say, no, the investigators have tampered with the thing, they have not properly done the thing, they have not properly secured the evidence, and all these things. So that in this context, it is highly important to understand the chain of custody. Chain of custody is not only important in a criminal investigation of homicide and things like that, but it is equally same principles of safe custody and documenting and all these things apply for a fraud examiner also. So when you are planning your examination of the thing, the first and primary importance also should be given to how this chain of custody should be executed from the beginning till the end, as various persons are involved. In ACFP, when I was going through in a recent thing, they have also clearly explained in their one of the magazines. ACFP means Association of Certified Fraud Examiners of US, which is a leading association on fraud examination. See, the thing is, the courts don't always call for full documents of entire chain of custody. That's right. If you can easily recognize an item and readily notice any tampering, it is generally not essential to track the chain of custody in detail before attempting to introduce the system into evidence. See, the basic thing is they have described that these are the important points. Members shall endeavor to establish effective control and management procedures for documents. Members shall be cognizant of the chain of custody, including origin, possession, disposition of relevant evidence and material. Members shall strive to preserve the integrity of relevant evidence and material. So, preserving the evidence, okay, and then recording the evidence, and then documenting the evidence. All these are form part of the chain of custody. The integrity of the evidence should be maintained without tampering or compromising in any way. Okay, so The importance of chain of custody is has to be always kept in mind, because many cases will just go against examiners, for examiners, or thing due to lack of evidence. The other day we are discussing about uh, fraud examiners, whistleblowers reports. In the case of African Development Bank, when there is an allegation by a whistleblower about the president of ADB having sorted to some illicit and illegal activities and all that one, twice the concerned authorities have struck down the allegations as false or baseless or without adequate evidence. So evidence is gone. And so whistleblower may not agree with that one. That's a different thing and different discussion. But point is, without concrete proof and evidence, the courts will not look beyond that. So, chain of custody's importance is uh, has to be recognized, and whenever we do, it should be properly documented, sealed, clearly labeled should be affixed uh, from and to thing, just like a postal address, okay, with the contents, time, date, and also wherever any work is done, and especially the digital forensics and all these things are where you examine various computers, this one, hard disks, laptops, or mobile phones, and all these things. Everything should be properly. You can take a photograph of the things and attach all these things as part of the evidence. So, with these few words, let us just conclude that chain of custody is of high importance, because the to establish our case, there should be solid evidence, and solid evidence will be there when it is proved through proper chronological sequence of the events, documents, and other things. I'm quite sure that these few words, brief explanation, it is clear to one and all about the importance and the meaning of the chain of custody. Thank you all and good day.